Hey everyone, it's Pierce Fraga here, Director of Property Management at Tide Property Management. Today I wanted to take some time and talk to you about short-term versus long-term rentals. I know short-term rentals have been, super hot recently, and everyone wants to get their hands on a short-term rental. And I wanted to take some time just to go over some differences between those two and if it makes more sense to go the short-term route or possibly the long-term route. Obviously, there's some places out there that the highest and best use of your property is to go short term. But there are also some benefits to long term that not everyone thinks about. Obviously, stable income. Having a long term rental, you can predict your income for 6 months to a year out, depending on your lease term. So it makes it very easy to plan for future endeavors. Next is lower turnover. If you're going the long-term route, obviously, if you have a lease in place, you're not going to be turning the property over time and time again, which plays into just the stability of it, knowing that your property is going to be taken care of by an individual group. Which leads me to my next point, less wear and tear on the property. With a short-term rental, it wouldn't be absurd to think that there's going to be dozens and upon dozens of turnovers in a year based off of the popularity of the location, which, adds to a lot of damages, people in and out, and just general wear and tear on the property. Next is just less involvement. If you're going the long-term route, there's not as much that you need to make sure is taken care of. You're not constantly getting calls every single weekend because the people on vacation need you to fix the Wi-Fi. It's a little bit less involved on your end. And then lastly, and probably the most important, is the difference between the regulatory issues with short-term rentals and long-term rentals. Each municipality, especially in the Charleston area, has its own take on short-term rentals. What is short-term rental? What's the definition? Are they allowed? Yes or no? And then long-term rentals tend to have a lot less red tape involved with them. If you're deciding, if you got a property you're thinking about possibly renting out and you aren't sure if you want to go the short-term or long-term route, we deal with this on a daily basis at Tide Property Management. And I'd be more than happy to talk to you to see if it makes more sense for you to go the short-term route or possibly long-term, and just to figure out what your goals are and what makes more sense with your property. If you have any questions on anything regarding short-term or long-term rentals, I'd be more than happy to talk to you. As always, I'm Pierce Fraga with Tide Property Management, Director of Property Management. Have a great day.